Guys, Navneet here, back with another fragrance video. In today's video, we are going to talk about DIOR SAUVAGE. Now, recently I made a video of Creed Aventus and all the top 5 alternatives of Creed Aventus. Apart from that, I've also included 2 other alternatives. So if you haven't watched that video, I'll be adding a link in the description down below, so you can go and check that video out. If you are here for DIOR SAUVAGE, well, this is the video for you. In today's video, we're going to talk about not 1, but 5 different clones of DIOR SAUVAGE. Also, I'll be telling you which of these clones are good clones and which of these are not worth your money. So stay tuned and watch the video till the end. So before we start this video, I want all of you guys to know that all of these fragrances which I bought is from my very own money, and this is not a sponsored video of any kind. So let's start with the video. So at number 5, we have Aco Voyage Pour Homme EDT 100 ml. Now this fragrance comes from the brand AA Atarwala, or well known as Aco Perfumes. Now Aco Perfumes has been a brand operating in India for a very long time, and they have that excellence in the field of attar making. That is the reason why I purchased this bottle here. This bottle has a close resemblance to DIOR SAUVAGE, but the juice is very different from DIOR SAUVAGE. I feel there is the lack of ambroxan in this. Apart from that, what I feel is a lot of synthetic materials has been used in this fragrance. For 225 to 300 rupees, this fragrance is somewhat similar to DIOR SAUVAGE, but I wouldn't recommend you personally to go for this fragrance because there are better alternatives at a cheaper and a much affordable rate. So my pick at number 5 would be Aco Voyage Pour Homme. Definitely be adding a link in the description down below, but I'll still suggest you guys not to go and purchase this fragrance because this fragrance will be very disappointing for some of you guys. That brings us to number 4, where we have a fragrance from the brand Miniso. Now I went and bought this fragrance from the store itself. This is Twinkle Stones. A lot of YouTube channels have already been talking about this fragrance and how this fragrance is a close resemblance to DIOR SAUVAGE. Well, that is very true. For a price of 90 rupees, I think this is the cheapest clone or the cheapest alternative of all of them, because this is placed at a price of 90 rupees for 75 ml, and Twinkle Stones Mystic Blue is in fact a good clone of DIOR SAUVAGE. And why do I say that is because the use of ambroxan in this is very beautiful. Although this fragrance is not a perfume spray, this is much of a deodorant, but still this is very similar to DIOR SAUVAGE. For all of you guys, this is placed at 90 rupees, so you can definitely go and try this at the nearest Miniso store around you. If not, you can definitely go and purchase it from Amazon. I guarantee you wouldn't be disappointed. But also keeping that in mind, I'd also like to say all of you guys that this is a deodorant, not a perfume. So don't expect a very big or very high performance from this fragrance. Performance wise or longevity wise, this fragrance will perform for around 2 to 3 hours at max. So if you want to feel what DIOR SAUVAGE feels like, definitely go and try this fragrance, because this fragrance is very cheap, and this is a fragrance which you can carry with yourself. So maybe after 2-3 hours you can still apply this fragrance again. So that was at number 4. We have Body Twinkle Stones Mystic Blue Deodorant Body Spray from Miniso. That brings us to number 3, where we have Wildstone Iridium. Now this gained a lot of popularity 2 years ago and is still very popular because this is a good clone of DIOR SAUVAGE. At the same time, this is very affordable. For a price of 250 rupees, you get around 120 ml. So again, a good buy. This fragrance is very similar to DIOR SAUVAGE. One sniff at it and you won't be able to differentiate between DIOR SAUVAGE and this fragrance. So that is the kind of resemblance Wildstone Iridium does. So I bought this fragrance a year ago, and recently a lot of people have been saying that the newer variant, so I bought a tester for this fragrance again this year, and I bought it like a couple of weeks ago. And the reason why I bought this tester was because a lot of people have been saying that the newer batches of Iridium has got a much more stronger performance, but performance wise I feel both of them perform very beautifully. May it be the older batches or the newer batches, both of them are similar to DIOR SAUVAGE, and I would definitely recommend them. So you can go and buy a tester for yourself if you have any doubts, or if you are short going to buy this fragrance, go and buy the 120 ml for yourself. Now that brings us to number 2, where things will become very interesting, because this clone is very similar to DIOR SAUVAGE. At the same time, this is similar not only to DIOR SAUVAGE but the DIOR SAUVAGE Elixir. So this is from the brand Project Alternative Guavera MI2. Now I purchased this from Project Alternative. I have a lot of fragrances from Project Alternative. This one appears to be one of my all-time favorites after Alexa White. So for all the guys who are wondering what Alexa White is, I've put a video of that too in my description, so you can check that out. That is the cheapest clone of Jeremy Office for Men, and this one is a clone of DIOR SAUVAGE. Apart from the beautiful use of ambroxan in this fragrance, this also has a good use of patchouli as well as geranium. Apart from that, what I also feel is this fragrance, top note of this fragrance has a lot of bergamot, so that makes it much more fresher. So at number 2 we have Guavera MI2. Now this comes at a price of around 600 rupees. So I'll be adding a link in the description down below. So if the prices have reduced or if there is a sale, good for you guys. I'll be adding a link in the description down below so that you guys can go and purchase this. Finally, at number 1, we have the best clone of Dior Sauvage, and that would be Ajmal Zeal. Now this is by far the best clone of Dior Sauvage. The fragrance which would come in this category would be from Armaf, that is Armaf Ventana. So that is again a good clone of Dior Sauvage, but at the same time we need to keep that in mind that this fragrance will cost you around 1000 rupees. So I bought this fragrance for 800 rupees and I'll be telling you how, and you can get this fragrance for 800 rupees as well. Apart from that, what I also think is that this fragrance comes very close to Dior Sauvage. At the same time, it keeps its own intactness and its own freshness, so it makes the performance of the fragrance much more good. And I personally apply this fragrance whenever I want to feel like Dior Sauvage, so this is the fragrance I go with. Apart from that, I try to layer my fragrances, so I layer both of these fragrances and then it turns out to be a beast combination. So at number 1 we have Ajmal Zeal. Now I have made another clone of Ajmal Neutron, and that is a clone of Bleu de Chanel. So Ajmal Zeal is a beautiful clone of Dior Sauvage. You guys can check that out. This is definitely going to get you a lot of compliments. So it has got me a lot of compliments. Beautiful use of ambroxan. There is this amount of bergamot at the start. Apart from that, there is some vetiver, there is some lavender, some pepper, and what I feel ocean of this fragrance is again very good. So let's take a quick look at the box of this fragrance. Although I did not show the box of the other fragrances, but this fragrance deserves to be shown because I really like the abstractness in this box. So this box looks very abstract, at the same time it is very good. I really am in love with this fragrance. I recommend all of you guys to go and try Ajmal Zeal. If not Ajmal Zeal, definitely go and try Guavera. So this is a bit expensive because 600 for 20 ml. Again, if not that, definitely go and buy Wildstone Iridium because this will be the best. It will get you a lot of compliments. Beautiful use of ambroxan in this fragrance. So that was about Dior Sauvage, guys. I hope you liked the video today. Let's talk about the longevity of all of these fragrances. Do a quick show of all of these fragrances and talk about the longevity. Let's start with the fragrance at number 5, that is Aco Voyage, and this has a longevity of 3 to 4 hours, but then again I wouldn't recommend this fragrance, personal choice. Number 4 we have Miniso. So we have from the brand Miniso, that is body twinkle stones. Now this gives you a performance of 2 to 3 hours, but this is very handy, comes in very handy, so you can keep it at the side of your bag when you go to office. So whenever you feel like applying this, do apply this. Good alternative at 90 rupees. Love this. That brings us to number 3. This is Wildstone Iridium, guys, and this gives you a performance of 3 to 4 hours. Apart from that, the newer variant, I have tried it, it can stretch as long as 5 to 6 hours if you apply it on clothes. If you apply it around your neck or your intimate areas, this will definitely give you a performance of 4 to 5 hours. Was Code Iridium for you guys. At number 2 we had the Guavera. So this is a beast fragrance. I have already talked about a lot of project alternative fragrances and how they make beautiful alternatives. Being a brand in India, you should definitely support those guys. This is not a paid video, as I already said. Let's talk about the performance of this fragrance. The fragrance performs for around 4 to 5 hours at a stretch. So good again. I really love the ambroxan used in this fragrance. Doing this with either Wildstone Iridium or Ajmal Zeal, this will give you a top-notch feel of Dior Sauvage and will definitely get you a lot of compliments. And that brings us to number 1. We have the winner, and this is Zeal. This gives you a performance of 8 to 9 hours, and that is very good because it comes from the brand Ajmal. Now this is again a fragrance imported from Dubai. So yes, this is a Dior Sauvage true clone. So definitely go and try to buy this fragrance. If not, you can definitely go and buy any of these fragrances except Aco Voyage, because I personally don't prefer that. Also, a lot of people have been asking me to make a review of Garden of Mirrors, so definitely a review is coming up very soon. But this is not a Dior Sauvage clone. This is much more feminine. This has different notes altogether. So there is no use of bergamot. There is no use of pepper. There is no use of geranium. This is, and definitely no use of ambroxan. So this is definitely not a Dior Sauvage clone. Although the bottle is very close or resembles Dior Sauvage, this is not a Dior Sauvage clone, guys. So that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you liked all of these fragrances. I'll be adding a link in the description down below for you guys to go and check that out. If you feel any doubt, do feel free to ask me in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer that for you guys. And signing off, that was Navneet. I hope all of you have a good day ahead.